Communications and Media Manager at the Center for African Studies at Howard University. And I'm here with Dr. Krista Johnson, the director of the center. Krista, what is the Center for African Studies?
So, Ania, the Center for African Studies has been in existence for about 8 years now. And we started as a Title VI National Resource Center funded by the Department of Education. And our mandate is to promote African studies and African languages, both here on Howard's campus, but in the DMV area as well, and even nationally. We have a lot of programming around collaborations with African institutions and organizations. We also have a very large African languages program and African studies program as well. And we also have a very large outreach program where we promote African curricular materials targeted towards K through 12. Launched several study abroad programs to Kenya and to South Africa, which are also language immersion programs. So we take advantage of the fact that we have the foreign language and area studies fellowships that we can offer our students so that they can study African languages not only here on Howard's campus, but also on the African continent.
Regular day. We are.
Your father is Baba. Everybody.
Hi, my name is Janai Moncrief. I am a junior legal communications major, sports administration minor from Miami, Florida.
Okay. Thank you for joining us, Janaya. So here we're talking about the importance of the International Day for People of African Descent, particularly from a Howard viewpoint. So I really just wanted to know, one, what do you think about Howard University?
I actually love Howard. Like, really, at home, I feel like I was in a bubble because at home, I'm from Miami, so it's a lot of Black and Hispanics. But I feel more because Miami is closer to the Caribbean, and I'm Caribbean descent. It's more Black Caribbeans, if that makes sense. Nobody's actually like Black American. So coming here, you see all different types of Black people and just people from different cultures in general and just different practices. So that's like really interesting and just a new aspect, let's say.
We actually were just participating in one of your classes, a Zulu class.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell us a little bit about the class?
It's like third day of class, but it's actually very interesting. The English language is so confusing, so every single letter you see, that's how it's said. There's no, like, how you can say phone with PH and then something else. I can't even think of it off the top of my head, but there, and there. It's not like that. Every single thing you say, you read it out. There's no silent letters, so that's, like, I really appreciate that.
That's a good description. Would you recommend any other Howard students to study Zulu or any other African language?
Actually, yes. Somebody recommended to me, and as a result of this class, I think after you take the second class, I believe, you're allowed to go to, like, there's an African trip. So some people went to Africa this past summer and studied there and learned some things. So I would definitely say, like, even if you're not, like, I don't know how to explain it. Even though it wasn't my first choice, I would say, in language, I would say that it's definitely a learning experience and you should definitely try it. And then it can also open you up to more opportunities.
What do you think about education as a human right, and particularly Black people? Do you think education is important for Black people and
yes,
to benefit in that?
Being from Florida, Miami is, yes, more diverse because South Florida, but Florida is still Florida as a whole. And just having to hear about just the news of now slavery was beneficial, I think it's very important for people to learn their history and just learn the extent. And even now with social media, you see on TikTok, or particularly like some people saying what's something you had to learn by yourself and not through school. It was about slavery, and people in the comments saying we learned this in the Caribbean, like we learned everything, and there was no sugarcoating anything, nothing that we didn't learn. Even when it comes to like the story of Thanksgiving, it wasn't all happy, you know. So I feel like it's very important for people to learn the actual like cold hard truth.
Howard is really a comprehensive university. We have so many colleges and universities, and African studies and Africana studies really are just kind of integral to so many of the departments, so many of the curricular offerings and programs that we have here on campus. So while the center does a lot of programming, there's a lot that gets done Africa related and diaspora related outside of the center. Really excited and very proud to proclaim that Howard actually has the largest African languages program in the country, in the United States. We offer 8 African languages, and we have over 1,000 Howard University students who study African languages every year. So it makes our classes have 20, 30 students in each of the classes. We offer levels from 1 through 4 and even advanced levels. And we've really excelled in terms of promoting African languages here in the United States. And our Department of African Studies is also unique, has been around quite a bit longer, and is also unique in that we're, I believe, the only institution that offers both a bachelor's, master's, and Ph.D. in African Studies, which is an interdisciplinary degree and department that we offer here.
So, Ms. Shanda, where are you originally from and what do you study?
So hello, my name is Shanda Singh Richardson. I'm a sophomore legal communications major from Miami, Florida, but my family's originally from Jamaica.
Oh, nice. So we literally just pulled you out of class and we interrupted one of your classes. Could you tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, so I got pulled out of my Zulu class. So I'm taking Zulu 001, which is basically like the intro class to the language. I chose to take that because I never really had the opportunity to learn an African language before I got here. And I kind of just wanted to learn something that, you know, is connected to me in a sense. So
I think that's a great choice. So being that we're here at Howard University, I wanted to know, in your experience, what do you think about Howard's role providing education to the African diaspora? So that's people here in America and all over the world.
So I come from a background where I attended predominantly white middle school and high schools. So coming to Howard was a big deal for me because I wanted to be in a space where I was surrounded by people who looked like me, and not only in terms of students but also faculty. So that was something that was important to me when I was deciding on college. And then why I chose Howard overall, Howard was been my dream school since I was like 12. And that's just because of interactions and relations that I've had with alum and hearing about their experiences. So I feel like it's important that we have this space to be able to learn from each other and like throughout our experiences as we all somehow share experiences in a sense, even though we're all from different places.
Howard is now participating in this campaign that recognizes the contributions of people of African descent from all over the world. Yourself being having heritage from Jamaica, what do you think about the United Nations recognizing the contributions of people of African descent?
I think it's extremely important that the contributions of people who are of African descent are recognized because historically they haven't been. There's a lot that I know that I didn't learn in school and stuff that I learned from my own research and just like from hearing like family stories of amazing things that people have done, and it's just not recognized on the scale that it should be. So I think that it's important that our people are finally like getting their flowers and like the world is like knowing the amazing things that we do. So I think it's a really good campaign and something that should be continued.
Hopefully people know about Howard's unique history as a historically black college and university. We were founded in 1867. But we've really come a long way. I mean, we had a particular purpose. We served a particular purpose, of course, given the United States history of segregation in education as well. So we provided opportunities for higher education to African Americans, people of the diaspora, when other opportunities were not there. And so that's an important history that we continue to, embrace in the contemporary era. But really what's interesting as well is that we have a contemporary role to play, which has been very significant and prominent as well. People might not be aware, but Howard produces the largest number of blacks who go into African Americans or people of African descent who go into the Peace Corps and into the Foreign Service here in the United States. Our president always boasts about how we train at the undergraduate level. We have the largest number of African Americans who go on to medical school. So we play really a remarkable role in making sure that our workforce in the United States and even globally is diverse and is also representative of multiple communities and multiple interests and areas.
What is the significance of the 70th anniversary of African Studies?
So Howard has one of the longest or oldest African Studies programs in the country. We were founded in 1953, and in fact there were efforts even before that to really launch an African Studies program, but we were formally launched in 1953. And as I said before, we actually started as a graduate program and offered graduate studies. And then it was only in the 1980s that we actually then started to offer the bachelor's in African studies. And interestingly, I mean, given Howard's position as a historically black college and university, it's interesting to note that our African Studies department is actually older even than our African American Studies department. But of course now we have both. We have an African Studies department and we have a vibrant and a very rigorous African American Studies department as well.
I am here with Miss Victoria, who will speak about her experience at Howard University. So, where are you from?
I'm from New York. So I am a communication and science disorders major, and I'm in my 3rd year.
Wow, nice. So, we actually just were participating in one of your classes. I think it's an African language class. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
So the class is Zulu. This is my first time taking an African class, and usually I traditionally go with Spanish because I've been learning Spanish since middle school, but at Howard the classes fill up, so I just thought this would be an opportunity to take something different.
So you said this is your 3rd year at Howard, correct?
Yes.
So what do you think about as an institution, and being that we're specifically trying to focus on human rights,
Right.
how do you think education, impacts people of African descent? Do you think Howard has been useful to help people acquire their education?
I think that Howard is useful when it comes to helping people acquire education, but I think that they could use work on helping people matriculate through their education.
I think that education has benefited the African diaspora, just in general, and what are your thoughts on the International Day of People of African Descent?
I definitely think that education has benefited the African diaspora. There was a time where education was prohibited to us because if we were being educated on what was happening to us, the state of America wouldn't be what it is. It's very beneficial for people of African diaspora to have the ability to read, write, and learn so that we aren't easily controlled.